Hello everyone, welcome. This is your weekly energy report for, I have to write it down of course, Monday, October 16th, which is tomorrow for me, and up until Sunday, October 22nd, so next Sunday. I pulled 4 tarot cards and they're all very juicy, lots of heavy energy, lots of stuff going on right now. I don't know if it's because the fall time, harvest time, what's going on, but it's a lot of it's not really dense, it's just a lot of energies all at once. So if you're feeling a lot of things and feelings and thoughts and things ping-ponging, it's fine. Also know that I'm not an astrology expert, but I do know that Jupiter just went into Scorpio. So what that means is that Jupiter is the planet of abundance, the planet of luck, and expansion. So it's a lot of other things, but the biggest 3 that I like to focus on are abundance, luck, and what was the other one I said? Expansion. So abundance, luck, and expansion. So wherever that planet falls in your chart is where it expands the most. So for me, where Jupiter is right now, as it goes into Scorpio in my chart, is in the 3rd house. For me, or the 3rd house is for communication. So since Jupiter just went into Scorpio, which is in my 3rd house, which is about communication, it means that for me, my communication with others is going to expand. It's going to be abundant. It's going to be kind of have a feeling of luck, which means that I'll be communicating better, more clearly. It could mean that my communication with people could bring me jobs, could bring me clients. It could mean that it brings me speaking gigs. I'm going to start doing that with my business. So going out and speaking, and I'm speaking to larger groups of people in order to get a bigger client base. And when you speak to a bigger group of people, guess what? More people are interested, right? And more people are like, huh. And also when you get a community of people together and then you speak to that community, it's like the energy in that room between bodies, between people, even if they don't know each other, is strong. It's present. It happens, right? It creates something that may not have been there in the individual. Okay. So as we always say, the individual reflects the community and the community reflects the individual. So if you're in a group, like say you're in a group, a meetup group or some kind of, mastermind where you all get together and talk about business or what have you, even if it's just a knitting circle or a book club or something, something that you may bring up that you're dealing with, the community, the collective could be like, yes, I'm dealing with that in my own way, and this is how, and this is how, and this is how. And you'll see that you end up manifesting and being manifested in these groups that reflect what you need to see to each other. And so that's really interesting, especially as it pertains to that. So if you know not only your date of birth, but your time of birth. That's the toughest part about astrology, is that your time of birth is very important. So if you know your birth date and your time of birth, then, and the exact city, also that you were born in, city, state, or wherever, if you were born in another country, that too, that works. Send me a reply to this email, and I'll look up where Jupiter is falling in your specific natal chart, and I will tell you in what area of your life abundance, luck, and expansion will be happening. Not just this week, but as long as Jupiter is in Scorpio. That's the part I'm not sure about. I don't know how long it's in there for. Like I said, not an astrologist, but the little I do know is that Jupiter is in Scorpio. So if you want to take me up on that, I love to serve. So send me an email, reply to this email, and I'll let you know where it's falling in your chart. Okay, so let's get to the cards. It's a really intense week. I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna make it very so the energy of these cards are very explosive, and the energy of these cards are very tell it like it is and move on. So there are 4 cards. 3 of them are major arcana cards. Let me explain. In the tarot, there are 78 cards. The first, and they're all numbered from 0 to 77. So actually the first 22 are numbered, okay? So the first 22 of the 78 cards are what we call the Fool's Journey. And they are the major arcana cards. So they tell the journey of a soul. So the cards, like I said, 22 cards go from 0 to 21. The 0 card is the Fool. And the rest of the cards are the Fool's journey through life. Now, the Fool, don't get it twisted. He's not a fool. He's just happy-go-lucky. He lets things happen. He takes risks. And that is representing the soul before it drops into the human body. So the soul, before it drops into the human body, which when it drops in the human body, all the emotions and all the little intricacies of being human really start affecting the soul. But the soul, before it's a human, is just like, I'm going to go learn things. And it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to choose that person. I'm going to choose that body or that expression of the divine, which is us. So we just talked about this in our class this weekend. I took a Healing with the Akashic Records, Healing Through the Akashic Records 2-day certification class. And one of my favorite topics in that class was, your soul chose you. It was like your soul chose you to express and to learn whatever lessons it meant to learn. So you were your soul's first choice. And so it's really important that you know that you were your soul's first choice. Even if in your human brain you say, ugh, why would anyone choose me, etc., etc., doesn't matter. Internally, divinely, you are the perfect expression of a soul. And so that being said, the first 22 cards are the major cards. So they are that Fool's journey throughout life. So throughout, learning subconscious, learning relationships with people, how to deal with your own emotions, how to deal with your life purpose, what to do, the lessons you're going to learn. Okay, that has to do with those first 22 cards. 3 out of the 4 of these cards that I pulled are major arcana cards. 3 out of 4. So the very first card is the one that's a non-major card, and it's a court card, and it's a powerful card at that. So it fits in with these 3 cards. It's not a weakling. It actually holds a lot of it together, actually, because these are all 3 big cards that are held together with this energy. So the first card is the Knight of Wands. This is a knight. So if you watch Game of Thrones or any TV show about knights, that's what this card represents. Someone who goes out onto the battlefield, who's a warrior, who fights for his king and his queen, for his kingdom. He really doesn't care about the details. He just says, where is the fight and who is the enemy? I'm going out to fight. And I'm doing this for the greater good of my kingdom, my people, my king, my queen. I am just the warrior. This is like the warrior mentality. Okay, the knight is a masculine expression, and the wands are a masculine expression. So this is it's a double masculine expression. So this is that's why I was saying a lot of energy, and it's very strong. It's represented by by the element of fire. So it's a fiery, feisty, as you can tell, there's fire. These are like his clothing, but it looks like flames. He's like, woof, he's going out into the battlefield. However, if you look closely at his face, he looks a little, confused, scared, not trepidatious, because he's a warrior. He goes out on the battlefield and he's like, who am I going to kill? Who do I get to protect? Notice I said get to. Who do I get to protect? For him, it's an honor to go out into the battlefield, right? So this is like, if you're on the battlefield right now, emotionally or even physically, if you feel like you're doing a lot of work, like you're really like, say you're a health and fitness buff and you're doing all this like Knight of Wands mentality, which is like, get it, go, challenge, gotta win, If you have that going on, but you also feel a little like, oh, this is a lot, and it's a lot going on, just remember that this is natural. It's okay. We're all feeling it. This is, remember, an energy reading for the collective for the entire week. So know that, like I said, the energy's a lot, and really it's important to acknowledge yourself. I will talk about this till I'm blue in the face. I say this every video about acknowledging yourself. This is especially prevalent in the work I have chosen to do, which is in the work of addiction, and this will come up later in the reading as well, addiction. So if you know anyone that struggles with addiction, my philosophy in treating addiction is to let the addict and the family of the addict know that they are trying as hard as they can, okay? That they are coping the only way they know how. And like I said, the expression of their soul, the divine expression of their soul is perfect. And they're trying to protect themselves and live as the only way they know how, okay? And so this is about kind of protection and this feisty, fiery energy, okay? The next card is the first major arcana card, and this is the Lovers. This has kind of the same kind of fiery energy, I feel like. Sometimes it doesn't have fiery energy, but I feel like in this reading with the other cards it's surrounded by that it does. It's a lot of yellow. Yellow has to do with the solar plexus chakra. That's right below the breastbone, okay? It's where it's where the seat of your power lies. So that's how it goes with this. It's about the seat, this is about power and strength, and this is about self-confidence and self-esteem and self-love. So like I was saying, this card is the warrior card, but it will bring up feelings of little bits of ego battle, and also like, about self-love issue. Like, okay, I'm so busy fighting everyone else's battles that I'm kind of not looking at my own. So this is about really looking at your own, not even battles, but just looking at the things you're dealing with in your own life and bringing it in. So this is like the outward expression of this crazy fire energy, and this is like bringing it back home, bringing it in, right? The Lovers is it's kind of a confusing card sometimes. It's a 6 card, so it's about harmony and balance. So it's almost like after the Knight of Wands, it's like finding harmony and balance after there's kind of a unbalance. So there'll be this like unbalanced feeling in the beginning of the week, and then it'll start to balance out, because this card, as you can tell, is symmetrical. It's like the same thing happening on either side. So it will start to align and balance. One side of the card is the feminine expression of the divine. The other side of the card is the masculine expression of the divine. So it's the balance of the masculine and feminine parts of not only our society, but ourselves. Mostly I'm feeling for this week, it's ourselves. So it's about balancing out those energies within ourselves. So being like active and going out and getting what you want, but doing it from a place of internal strength and self-confidence. The Lovers is also represents sometimes a decision. So this could be that, this kind of energy brought up all sorts of debris and everything. And then it's like, oh crap, it's like maybe we'll have faced you with a decision that you need to make that you've been ignoring. This also is a card about soulmates. So if you're feeling like you're having a lot of fiery energy between your soulmate or your love partner, that might have to do with that. And this card goes into the Devil. So we have the Lovers right into the Devil. So you know what I just noticed? Holy crap. I think that the Lovers and the Devil are reflection cards. I'm trying to remember. This is like a deeper level of tarot that I'm just digging into about the numerology and symbology and how they reflect one another. But check this out. This is like the same card. Let's breathe that in for a minute. Let's just breathe that in for a minute. Yeah. So this is the purest expression of this balance and this love, self-confidence, having it together, the equality, the balance and alignment, the harmony. The 6 card, the number 6 is about harmony and balance. And then you have the same energy, but a different expression of said energy. It's a little bit more of a, I'm trying to wait to culminate the word for this, because it's not, I don't like saying positive and negative, and I don't like saying light and darkness, because they're two of the same. It's a paradox, because light and darkness exist at the same time, and it's not what it might look like on the outside, okay? It's really internal. I'm feeling that this is, okay, I got it. This is the external expression, and this is the internal expression. So there's like the external expression is that of loving, confident, and strength, and the internal expression is that of, ooh, I'm really struggling. And the Devil really has to do with codependent behavior, addictive behavior, and that's when I said earlier that addiction comes in later. That has to do with this. So if you're dealing with any kind of addiction, or if any family is dealing with any kind of addiction, and it's not just addiction, when people hear that word, they think drugs and alcohol. I'm talking about anything that could have you feel like you need it in order to not feel, not have to deal with things. If you do something over and over and over and over and over and over again in order to not look at a part of yourself that you don't want to look at, the devil might be involved in this. Again, this complete symmetry, feminine side, masculine side. This is an angel, this is the devil. Yeah, this is a lot. Actually, I could do probably an hour-long video just on these two cards. So I'm not going to go much further. I'm just going to say that there's this dichotomy happening, and you may feel a little bit like the angel and the devil's on your shoulder. You know, and it's kind of like, you should do this, self-confidence, self-love. And the other side says, you're a piece of shit. You need to do this in order to hide. You need to do this in order to not have to deal with that. Or it could be not a you're a piece of shit thing, but it could just be you don't have what it takes to make it through, so you need to hide. I'm trying to think of reasons why people would hide, because there's so many reasons. But this is about hiding. This is about not looking this is about not looking at the divine expression of your soul, because this is the divine expression, and this is saying, like I said, this is internal. So this is like, or no, I said this is external. So this is external, like knowing on the outside that I am this perfect expression of the divine. And then the internal side says, no, I don't feel that way. You know, it's like, I feel like there's something amiss, or deep down I'm not happy, or the reason I'm doing this codependent behavior is ... And sometimes that's what the devil is all about, is sometimes you're doing that kind of behavior, but you don't know why or how. So there's a lot going on there. A lot of heaviness in there, okay? And the card that comes after that, and the card that ends the reading, is the Hermit. And this is perfect, because the Hermit, what that does is says, go within. Go within, really write down a list of, when you look at the Lover's card, what comes up in your body. What do you feel in your body? Where do you feel it? Do you feel love? Do you feel harmony? Do you feel balance? Do you feel like lost because you don't have that, or that you perceive that you don't have that? When you look at the Devil card, are you scared? Are you happy? Because actually the Devil card is about, if you look at it, these people are chained there of their own volition. They can take this off. Like the chains are loose enough to take them off and walk away. They're choosing to stay here. So it could be that you're choosing to stay here because it's safe and it's comfortable. And something we just talked about in my class, which was, healing through the Akashic Records, is about self-acceptance. And the choices that you make are to protect you and to keep you safe. So if you're doing this behavior, think about, but why am I doing this behavior? What am I keeping myself safe from? What am I numbing in order to, and why? So say I was, drinking a lot, and I say, well, I'm doing that because deep down I'm really scared, and I don't want people to know who I really am because I feel like they'll reject me. And then what the self-acceptance side part of you says is, of course you do that. Of course you do that. Of course you do that. Anybody that is dealing with those kind of feelings would do that. Because again, you are the divine, your soul chose you. You are the divine expression of that soul. So you're perfect. And that's why self-acceptance is, of course you do that. Like, you're protecting yourself, and it's okay. Okay. So this is about going within, looking at those processes, and really doing an evaluation, doing a self-evaluation, really looking at your ways of being and how you might be able to get into a space of being ready to open up and heal, okay? This is about going within. It's about an internal journey. So it's an internal journey, okay? So this whole thing really is about an internal journey. Going within, breathing into the space, breathing into who you are, looking at all of the corners, right? Looking at all of these corners. Yes, there's some dark stuff that we get to look at, and it's time. It's really time to start doing that right now. The shift has been happening for a long time now. Not a long time, but it's been about almost a year that we've really been in this huge shift of everything happening. So let me know, again, reply to this email if you would like me to tell you where Jupiter is in your chart and where your expansion, luck, and abundance is going to start happening in your life, or already is actually, because Jupiter just entered Scorpio. And if you would like to book a service with me, I do Akashic Records readings, I do tarot card readings, I do Reiki clearing, I do one-on-one counseling. And my counseling, I specialize in addiction. But there are other parts. There are the things that are most prevalent in addiction, which are the biggest things are shame, blame, not wanting to be self-aware, numbing, stuff like that. But we all do that, even if we're not addicts or addicted to anything, okay? So I specialize in those things, and also in forgiveness and forgiving yourself and acknowledging yourself. So I do one-on-one counseling with that, and also mini workshops so that we can actually integrate what we've learned into your life. So if you're interested in any of those services, please just look me up on erinspirational.youcanbook.me. That is the website, erinspirational.youcanbook.me. And like I said, reply to this email if you're interested. I love you so much. Have the most amazing weekend. You guys, whoa. The weekend just ended. And I was in a class all weekend, so I'm in a little bit of a time. Have a fabulous week. And I just want to tell you how grateful I am for you, and thank you for being being an expression of the divine in such a perfect masterpiece of a way. And yeah, just have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for letting me be of service to you.